Muscle up transition in L-sit on rings. The muscle up transition in L-sit is used to strengthen the transition phase of the muscle up on the rings. The L-sit transition creates a longer lever length that offers a counter lever which assists the concentric phase of the transition. The pull-up is left out of this exercise as the focus is on the transition and the dip. Start in a ring support with the rings turned out and the elbows locked. Set a nice hollow body shape before lowering to the bottom of the ring dip with the shoulders slightly forward of the rings. From here, the elbows move in an arc-like shape around the rings. Allow the elbows to move back and down, and when the forearms are parallel to the floor, focus on securing a nice strong false grip on the rings, while rotating the rings from the dip position, a semi-supinated grip, to a pronated false grip. At this point, the force will move from being a push down on the rings to being a pull up on the rings. At the same time, contract the hip flexors and start to lift the legs up towards the L-sit. Push the heels of the feet together, point the toes and contract the quads to help keep the legs straight. Continue to move the elbows in the arc shape and take them all the way down to be vertically stacked under the wrists. Notice how the rings continue to rotate from the pronated grip to a semi-supinated grip with the wrists on the outside of the rings. Also notice how the shoulders stay slightly above the rings and do not drop below the ring height. Imagine you are tracing a line under the pecs with your thumbs as you move the rings from being beside the body to in front of the sternum. This will help to keep the shoulders slightly above the rings. Continue to bring the rings around in front of the body until the back of the rings touch. Notice how the feet are nice and high in the L-sit. Lift the feet up and keep the legs straight will lengthen the lever length and offer a greater counterweight which will help move through the concentric phase of the muscle up transition. Now reverse the movement. Allow the elbows to retrace the arc shape from being vertically stacked below the wrists to eventually being vertically stacked above the wrists in the dip. During the transition, when the forearms are parallel to the floor, the rings will rotate and the pull down on the rings will switch to a push up on the rings. Pay close attention to the change in force and the movement path of the elbows. Return to the bottom of the dip with the shoulders forward of the rings and the body shape set to hollow. Press back to the ring support position with ring turnout before starting the next repetition.